slighted by Casey. She ditched us last week, man. She was running the streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna tag y'all to the videos when I come up. Yeah, yeah.
The videos
I'm gonna tag y'all.
They real like.
They wouldn't. She was just fly.
I ain't post the real footage.
What's the real footage? Okay. Look. You gotta share the real. You gotta share the real footage with your family now. Come on now, share the real footage. Now let's be clear.
Don't tell him nothing.
Right.
Hold on. Let's be clear. If it's some dudes shaking and snaking and doing some extra, now keep the footage.
No, it was.
You want a little shimmies in there?
Hell no.
Some noops in there.
No, it was
shoulders.
You gotta be real careful when you tell women to share the footage from where they been.
Y'all be asking.
Mess around with something flopping in the background that you didn't mean to see.
With a sock on.
Damn. Damn. With a damn sock on it.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, so that
Frank, I
right
just
there.
went to dinner. That's all. I went to dinner with some friends. That was it. I mean, that's how it started, but those were
there we go.
How it ended.
So where the night end at?
In my bed, sleep.
Ping.
Was you? Yeah. Like was you in your bed by yourself, or was you in your bed?
I'm single. So yes, I was alone. But no, so we went to dinner and dinner was delicious. And then we didn't want to go home. So we stopped by Kiss in Dallas. It's kind of like a little night, whatever, restaurant on the bottom, club on top kind of thing. So we just, had some drinks and, that was it. Then we went home.
Pulled up. Should have pulled up. Start crashing them shits. Start crashing. I thought y'all was doing this. I thought y'all was doing the live. Oh yeah, we doing the live. Turn up. Come on now. Let's go. Let's do it.
We live right now.
No,
yeah,
but Frank,
absolutely.
About literally like an hour ago, they messaged me and was like, "Hey, you want to go to this hookah spot?" I was like, "Dang."
Look, well, why you saying through Clint's teeth? Dang, don't do it.
Because it's like sunny and pretty.
Oh yeah, I forget.
I just dyed my hair.
Feeling good.
Trying to get out,
Run the street. Run the damn streets a little bit.
But I remember my responsibility. I gave my word. I didn't have any plans, so here I am. Here I am.
You're responsible, boy. You know what? See, there's certain women out here, and you just got to protect at all costs. You one of the ones we got to protect at all costs, no matter what. We can't let no harm come to you.
Because the old me would have been like,
I mean, right? Because we ain't paying nobody yet. We ain't paying nobody yet. But when we get there, yeah, we one moment away. We one moment away of Frank calling all men hoes or something crazy, and then that's just gonna be a wrap.
Right.
One moment away. I had to update our thing on the screen, but yeah, we live. So the first thing I wanted to jump into before, because listen, this child support at conception one, I think we all gonna probably cook on that one. But the first thing I want to jump on a little bit was this. It's kind of a bit on the side of men holding men accountable thing, and I know we've done that a few times, and men checking men and so forth. But I saw this video of this dude, and he was saying how black men are pretty much responsible for the state of black women. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to play what he got to say, man. I didn't know old dudes like this be throwing brothers up under the bus, but I just don't agree with what he's saying. Y'all might agree with what he's saying. I'm gonna let it play out, and then I'm gonna talk my shit, because I got to talk it again on this one, because this ain't necessary. What OG doing? I can't stand for it, OG.
The black woman wouldn't be no hoe if a man wasn't no hoe. We made the black woman like the black woman is. We have sex with our friends. We have sex with our sisters. We're so disrespectful to us people. She got to put up with this shit because you paying the bill. Our black sisters got to be the strongest woman it is on planet Earth. Why? She all by herself. She ain't got no man. A man don't know what to tell her. He can't talk to her. All a man's trying to do is have sex with her. She don't want to hear that, especially after she done had some babies and things like that. And the black man is sorry. He's not helping the black woman. He ain't helping his mama. So the black woman got a real hard job in America. She's our backbone, point blank. They little boy ain't no man. They man ain't no man. They out here all by themselves, struggling every day by themselves, trying to take care of this nigga here, his mama, by herself trying to take care of boys. My mama, all our mamas, they have a hard time and we don't even say thank you. We wrong. The black woman ain't wrong. The black woman wouldn't be no hoe if a man wasn't no hoe. We made the black woman like the black woman is. How can we disrespect the black woman? If it wasn't for the black woman, we wouldn't be here. The black woman wouldn't be no hoe if a man wasn't no hoe. We made.
Look at here. Look at here, man. I'm gonna say something. So, nigga. Speak for yourself. He's not my dad. He's not speaking for my granddad. He's not speaking for my uncles. He ain't speaking for. I might have a brother out there. I might have at least one that might be a little. But he's not speaking for my circle. And I don't like is when men or women try to the mass of black men, like black men responsible for black men. Now, I've said this before, and this is going to sound extreme. If y'all really want men to be held accountable for men, then go to your congressman, go to your government and say, we want them to have absolute control over the community, and y'all need to turn away while they do what they got to do. Because it would literally take something like a civil war inside of the community to get men in line that are already full-grown men. This goes in line with what we were talking about when women are telling men to check men and jump off the porch to protect, those that do. We know a lot of y'all don't talk that nonsense, but for those that do, men that are going to handle men have to be prepared to take it to the next level. And that level requires physical interaction. And so while he has all this to say about what men are and what men did, and then women are a result of that, I have no doubt that women and men are a result of each other's actions in any group. No doubt. Everybody shares some blame. But what he's saying does nothing to help anything. If he not finna go out there, pick up a brick, and knock out one of these dudes who he's talking about and somewhere and leave them to where they out of the game. You can only you can't fix degenerates. You get rid of them. So any of that kind of talk that he's having, I don't really have no respect for it because it's just talk. It's not going to lead to a result. Nothing about what he said is going to stop a dude from doing what he's going to do tonight or tomorrow or the next day. It's not. Dudes already got their mind made up. But that's my spiel on it, man. It's not a matter as whether or not we have an influence over our women and our women have had an influence over us. It's a matter of what is the point in saying this? What are the results supposed to be?
Can I go?
Yeah. No, yeah. Jump on. Do your thing.
No, I want to make sure you finish.
Yeah.
So if we're speaking from the origin of if we're speaking about the origin of the problem, then I would be more inclined to take his side, because I do believe in leadership, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't be a leader if you don't take ownership. So somewhere along the line, in our community, black men, I'm not going to say they fell off the post, because there was a lot, or fell off on the wall, because there was a lot that happened. I do believe that a lot of the stand-up black men that were leaders were literally killed. A lot. When we're talking about the history of black men in America, those times that we often romanticize, during the from the civil rights era to the post-slavery area, the Reconstruction area, era. When we're talking about, those men, how we praise them, yeah, they are deserving of their praise. And yeah, it wasn't degenerates back then, but I don't believe that it was like it is now. It was some deadbeats back then, but I don't believe it was like it is right now. That there's more than two handfuls of names we can roll out that were considered to be some really effective leaders that looked like us. But a lot of them were killed off. So black women were left to raise black boys from that time alone, and even before then, alone. And I know what it's like, and I'm dealing with myself, quite honestly. Over the past couple of days, I've been dealing with my feelings of my dad being absent. He was present. I mean, I know him. He was married to my mom, but he was also absent. And I've been struggling with anger and resentment these past couple of days because of what I feel like I didn't receive because he was absent. So it's a lot of components that have to be discussed. But overall, like I said, because I do believe in leadership as a man, we got to take that hit when we're talking about the origin of the problem. Now, I would like to start talking about solutions at this point, because we know the origin. Some may not, accept it, but it's, the truth of history is the truth of history. There were residual effects, and these are the residual effects that we're seeing now from years of absentee and just absentee fathers in the black community, whether it was voluntary or involuntary. These are the results. So, go ahead.
I want to share what my pops told me, man. If he wasn't most likely sleep, he getting a little up there in age, so he go to sleep early, I'd have him jump on here. I asked my pops what happened, because my dad is in his going into his 70s now, maybe 70. Boy, I'm bad with ages, but all my my elders are actual elders. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother 99. My aunts and uncles are in their 70s and 80s. My dad is in his early actual elders, people that lived, the children of the silent generation. My grandparents are children of, like, right behind slavery. These people have seen a lot, and I've asked questions over the years. And what they saw and what they say, they didn't give a lot of blame to the conditions as far as, let's be clear, white supremacy. They didn't overblame that. did take a lot of responsibility. And one of the things my dad says, and when you ask him, he says the baby boomers, his generation, he said, we dropped the ball. I said, how'd y'all drop the ball, Pops? He said, we all started partying. The 60s and 70s, we started having fun. And having was drugs. So they were doing what white people were doing too. They were doing what their white counterparts were doing, which was partying, having fun, rock and roll, music, love, free love, drug. They were doing the same thing. But what have we said constantly here, and what do we recognize? We can't do what they do. Because there's two things you need. It's a few things you need. You either need to be a strong community. Strong communities can withstand certain things, or a very large collective. So community isn't a community as a whole, but it is a very large collective. It is the largest collective in the country. So they can take hits and keep rolling. The Black community has only itself enough into a community to take a hit like the drug era. So some of our parents made it through that. They had their fun, they snorted their lines, they partied their ass off, they woke up early enough in their 20s or in their 30s, had kids move, and then other parents kept using. Also, you got Vietnam sprinkled in there, and some war and more drugs, and then you still on top of that, on top of the drugs, you also got the other stuff in the background with white supremacy, racism, all the injustices, all the disadvantages, and you got drugs in there. So that mix of things does tie back to what you said, Frank. Absentee, all is in. And there was nobody sitting around that was not participating in time. It wasn't like all the men decided we just gonna go do dope. Everybody in America, everybody in America was having fun. We just couldn't afford to. And so we're the children of the dope fiends. See, back in the day, dope was something powdery or hard. Dope fiend, D-O-F-I-N-E, dope fiend. If your mom and dad was using drugs, that was a fiend. You know what I'm saying? It's what it was. So, children, by proxy, whether your mom or dad was doing it, your family could have been the one that never partook. Generation that comes right behind the dope fiend generation. So there's a lot of trauma. Time, man. Like you said, the blame game. I don't do the blame game, man. I just can't do the blame game. I don't want to blame the men. I don't want to blame the women. I talk about the results. But when shit like that gets said, I always wonder: what's it worth? Oh, dude, you should have enough knowledge and information and seen enough to have a solution instead of talking about, oh, we wouldn't do this. Men is hoes and women is hoes. This is the whole man. Come on, bro. Let's talk about the solutions. You know what I'm saying? And I got a hard mind. I believe, man, you gotta, bro, when you got a bad tooth, when it's rotten, when things happen, I know people don't they gotta go in there and do a root canal? Don't they gotta extract? Don't they gotta get rid of some stuff? They don't go in there and patch up the hole and say we just gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? When you got cancer, don't they fucking remove the tumor? They gotta extract that.
You gotta remove it before they can heal.
They can't leave the tumor there and say, well, we're gonna work around the tumor and hope you make it. No, there's nothing. If you get a bullet in your ass and you don't want your ass off, they go extract the bullet first. Then they start fixing everything. So there's an extraction that needs to happen. And I know that sounds extreme, but when something is extreme, when you got extreme problems, you need extreme reactions. There's no talking. There's no conversation you're going to have with degenerates to fix degenerates. You can't counsel. You ain't going to counsel them. What they think we're going to do? We're going to round up all the degenerates, sit at the table somewhere and say, hey, y'all, let's talk about this, man. We need to get y'all together, man. And come on to church, man. If you got an education, well, that nigga is 25 years old and don't care. He's done. You should have got him at 12. You damn sure should have got to him at 3. I mean, and so it's harsh, and it sounds like throw away. Seeing this over and over. You cannot fix people that don't want to fix. They literally got to grow old and die. But in the process of them growing old and die, and then figuring it out by the time they this motherfucker's age, because he was probably one of them, he's projecting. By the time that motherfucker's age, he got generation ain't shit either. So somebody should have got rid of him. So he couldn't reproduce. And then boom, there we go. Y'all, how many of y'all seen that movie? You remember that movie Immortals? When that dude defected from the camp, yeah, when he defected from the camp, what did that dude do to that dude that defected, the traitor? What did he do to the traitor?
To the Hamilton.
First he marked him. Then he took spread his legs, and they said, so you can't infect future generations. We're gonna make sure you can't reproduce. So if we can't do that, man, this shit sounds cute to have. Real cute. You gotta do an extraction. Start with you, old man.
I mean, it's a novel want, but it's also not realistic. So it's one of those things where I think at this point, the poison is so deeply rooted in the body that it's one of those things where you might just have to let that part of the body rot and fall off on its own. You can't cut it off. But everybody else who's on the healthy side can fortify the healthy pieces so much that all the blood and everything will fall away from that part anyway, and it'll rot and fall off. That's about the only thing you got left to do. We have too many people in our community that are hurt and are unwilling to do the work to heal. And there's nothing we can do for them, but we also can't hack them off. We have to kind of let them fall off. Either they join in the health collective and be on the side where the healthy tissue is, or they stay with the necrosis until it dies and falls off.
Hold on, I got one quick question. Just one little thing about them reproducing.
I don't think so.
That's their favorite thing to do.
Yes.
I don't think you can. So I remember we've talked about this before. Y'all say that the access to sex is controlled by women. Women will have to be more selective in who they let inside of their bodies. Not just, oh well, you know, I he cute, he got that thing, I'm gonna let him in raw, and you know, whatever happens, but literally like thinking about on the front end, what would it be like to have this man as my child's father? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. That's why I'm not ashamed of either of the fathers of my children. Because I don't let men near me at all. Not that I go and seek men to procreate, but I don't let men even near me that I couldn't see myself procreating with.
That is a brilliant, like, now real talk. I think we've all said that at one point. If you can't even see, because the outcome of procreation is there. If you literally look at that mug and you like, you might not want to do it.
Baby, you can't even come. We can't share the same air. And you know, people will be like, well, you think you too bougie, you too better? Yes.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Premium genetics here. I may be fat, but baby, we still got premium genetics around this piece. It's a lot of muscle under this fat. but I gotta call my women into question on that one. Yes, the absence of men has even caused issues with women and how we date. Absolutely.
Mhm.
But it's no different than when you get to a certain point in your life, you just gotta stop blaming other people. Go heal. Period. Just go heal. Yes, we may have made some choices in the men we date and all of that earlier on because we lacked fathers, but baby, we in our 40s. Your daddy been dead for 10 years. Please move on. So it's
Jump
you gotta let
on in there,
them
jump on in there, Casey. Cook a little bit.
So I feel like more than one thing can be true. And I feel like it goes back to like free will. Like we have the choice to go this way or go that way. And those choices, it all comes down to like
already the title got me. Thank you.
do these choices, whether they're negative or positive, do they align with who I want to be? Or do these positive choices align? You know what I mean? So we have, free will to do that. But in saying that, I feel like those negative people that, they continue to make the negative choices and they live and they wallow in that, like you call them the degenerates. I feel like those people have to exist. They have to exist for the rest of us to know who we don't want to be. Like, how do you know who you want to be until you know who you don't want to be? You know what I mean? And you spoke on like, Black people, we have to work on, the collective. Like we don't have a collective. But how do we get there?
We don't have a community. No, we don't have a community. But yeah.
But how do we get there if you throw everybody away? Like some people can be rehabilitated, but you don't know that if you don't try, because you have to have people, to know if something works. You have to have a so-called degenerate, make something of themselves, or you know what I mean, to know like if they're useless or not. Like you have to try reach them in order to know if they're worthy of the work or not. You know what I mean? And so I mean, it's just like your children. Like some of them, like they determined to go down a certain path, and you can tell them and give them these tools, and they still have the free will to do what they want to do, and you got to let them go and let them do it. But then you have other children that are like, they trying to do the best they can and trying to, live this great life, and you just keep guiding them, they coming to you for, guidance, and you just, you keep, guiding, but you have to know when to cut the cord or when enough is enough. Like you said, with the degenerates, like when it's become more work than it's worth, then yeah, you gotta let them go. But it's up to you to decipher like who's worth it and who's not, because you can't just throw everybody away, because somebody gotta break the cycle that they've come from, or like you said, it's gonna keep on repeating itself, But like I said, some of them are necessary, because they're showing our children like that's not what you want in your life. Like this is where this road leads, But if everybody is quote unquote perfect, like how do you know, like I said, what you want to be and who you are and who you're not, if everybody's the same? You work.
That's a very valid point. I mean, it's to think we're going to have some utopia where everybody got it together. Hell no, I don't begin to think that. What would be nice if there were enough of those doing right to where it was almost an anomaly when you come across somebody that's a real fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather it be an anomaly than something we look at and say that's the norm, that's part of the norm, or that's so regular. Like when you see a man that doesn't want to be a father, I'd like to look at him and say, damn, that's almost like a man that got a third arm. Like, oh shit, bro, how that work? Come here, man. Come here, touch this nigga. Come here, look at this shit right here. Hey, do something real quick. I need it to be that extreme in order, and then you sit down and interview it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, so wow. So what is it like you don't raise your kids? What is that like? And it's so strange to where you can scientifically observe it and experiment with that some bitch. Like, I need it to be that rare. That's just my dream. I have a dream. Don't make me talk about my dream.
Do you truly believe that the majority is messed up? Like,
no.
The media is pushing the
hell no. I I don't believe that. No, I don't believe but I believe
like there's a lot of us that are going down the right path, that's trying to do the right thing. That's glorified.
Well, and maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to work on reversing that narrative more, like spend much more. But man, it's crazy, Casey, because I'm telling you, I think we've all done this social experiment. All of us know we can go right now and say the most positive, put all the most positive representations out there, and they don't get a, what is it with humans that the negative just rides farther? I mean, we've talked about it. It's part of our nature that the negative just stands out.
It's in
because the negative draws the attention more, because it makes you more emotional.
Yeah, okay.
Immediately.
That makes sense.
But I feel like it's certain people that's drawn to that, because like the people I know, they don't entertain that. Like on social media, they're not following all that crap and gossiping about this or that, or they're not doing that. There's certain people that stay on that level and feed off of that energy, and it keeps them from growing and elevating, But as soon as you cut that out your life, you start to grow and expand in a way that you never, because that stuff like she was saying, like it attaches to you emotionally and mentally, and it keeps you in this certain place. But as soon as you start withdrawing from those, like the love and hip hops and all that fighting and stuff, your mind goes somewhere else. You know what I mean? You start
to see more.
Yeah, you start putting your nose in the books that are, making you think, and outside the box. You're not looking for that stuff. It's certain people, I think they feed off of that because it keeps them in this box where they don't have to do the work on themselves. So it's entertaining to watch somebody else fall and live, this certain negative life, instead of like cutting that TV off and working on myself, working on my issues and working on my family. You know what I mean? It's a distraction. And you got to know that,
Somebody just said something in the comments that I want to talk about real quick. Somebody told me women aren't naturally attracted to responsible men. It takes a strong father figure and real self-reflection for women to change that mindset and thinking. Totally incorrect. It is not that women aren't naturally attracted to responsible men. It's just that a lot of women don't know what a responsible man looks like.
That's a better, I think that might be what he's saying, but that's a better way to put it, to clear it, because like it
has nothing to do with
you've never seen it.
They don't know.
You've never seen it's the same way with men. I done fought with men in groups, and I said, I've referred to assets, and then they're like, a woman can't be an asset, and I'm just like, oh, then tell me you don't know what it looked like without telling me you don't know what it looked like. Okay, that's what that means. So go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
And a lot of times the quote unquote you also have to look at a lot of those women who think or feel that way or have been down that path. They come from homes where they saw a woman taking care of most things. So they don't even look for a man to be responsible. They look for, I can take care of it because my mama did.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with who she's naturally attracted to. That's some BS. It has everything to do with she's never experienced what a responsible man looks like, to know what it looks like, and to also know her place with a responsible man. It's no different than a man knowing like what a submissive woman looks like. You got a lot of men
Don't
around
have a
here
clue what that
thinking
looks like.
submission is just you shut up and listen to me. When it's like you've never actually seen a woman be submissive, because a true woman in her submission, you don't have to order her to do nothing. She's going to
just doing.
navigate in a way that supports you, regardless. You ain't got to tell her nothing. So it's a whole lot of people. Well, we gotta help them change their mindset because they're attracted to the negative. No, it's not that they're attracted to the negative. It's just they ain't never seen the positive.
That's a good one. That's a really, and that's so true. I mean, I've seen it in my life over and over again with so many people, and some people actually come to that realization themselves. They'll look up and say, I don't know. I'm like, I've had men say, I don't know how to pick women because I've never had to, and I don't have no example. My grandmother was a good, like could look, walk through a woman's house, have a conversation with a woman, and she would not say what she thought about that woman if her son, grandson, or whoever loved that woman. But boy, if you ask her what she think, that was what she gonna do first. That what you just did, she gonna say, And if her first thing come out her mouth is, thing come out her mouth starts with, well, it's cooked. It's cooked. She don't even gotta cook. Never mind, because she's trying to soften what she's finna tell you. You know what I'm saying? So that means she ain't there yet. And men, as far as vetting men, it don't take us long. And if a woman hasn't had a dad sit there and say, hey, not him, and not him because look at this. You know what I'm saying? And so, and if she ain't had a father that exemplified the things that he also telling her not to look at, because that stuff got to align too. It can't just be, don't end up with a man like me. That's not gonna work. Or get with somebody better than me.
Oh, whoever asking these questions, I'm gonna get that.
Okay,
one too.
let's go.
So the whole bad boy attraction, it's not necessarily the negativity of the bad boy that they're attracted to. They're attracted to the assertiveness of his behavior. An assertive man is much more attractive than the quiet, meek guy sitting in the corner. Again, this goes back to these women are actually seeking someone that they can kind of, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? They're seeking protection. Absolutely. They're seeking someone to protect them. So the bad guy seems like a protector.
Yes.
Because she don't know what one look like.
Yeah.
So all that rah-rah, he seemed like, oh, he must be tough. Look at him. He loud. Right. He must be tough. Nigga ain't tough. Nigga ain't never been punched in the face. He just ain't been punched in the face yet.
Right. He ain't run up on the right one yet. I ain't never dated no bad boy. I date nerds that got guns.
And look, them nerds that got guns, they answer the door with guns. Not to be tough, they answer the door with guns. Because whatever on the other side that ain't been invited, that's how they don't know about that. That don't sound right.
And they shoot you and drag you out the house so you don't get no blood on their carpet.
The real tough guys ain't talking and they ain't loud.
They not loud. Listen.
The real tough guys is the ones sitting in the corner being quiet.
They trying to avoid drama. I ain't trying
they're trying to avoid something, and the first thing the toughest guy does, with a level of strength, he's gonna grab his woman hand, say, babe, let's go. No, let's go. Mm-hmm. Because these dudes over here acting stupid, and I don't want to have to act stupid with them, so we gotta leave, babe.
Right.
Oh, okay. And the woman ain't never heard her man get that firm in a moment. Then, hey, babe, let's go. We gotta go. These niggas finna act stupid, so we gotta go. hello, that little thing trickled a little bit. Ooh, shit! He said we gotta go.
It did,
He said that
absolutely.
little thing jumped, so he don't even know. He might get you might get some roadhead, boy. You done just stepped up, boy.
He walking on the outside while we
Yeah,
walking on the sidewalk too. Oh,
roadhead loadeth, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, don't crash now, boy, because you gotta still protect. So you gotta be real calm. Don't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I do think that's more of what it is, because once you've seen it and then you get a little bit of narrative along the way with regard to you've seen the man and then they kind of giving you some instructions. The same thing with men dealing with women. You've seen quality women and then those same quality women give you a little bit of guidance with regard to the type of woman that's gonna really fit. It makes all the difference in the world. I don't want to belabor the topic, but appreciate the comments. I don't know who that is. I can't see who it is, but definitely appreciate the comments. Sheffy reading them comments and charging right back. Give that one right there and give me give me that one too. But
you know me, I'm a correct some information.
But because it's all perspective too. Because just from a man's vantage point, he can't see that you can't see. He just see that you don't see. And the woman ain't sitting there saying, "Well, I can't see." She's just not. She's just trying to keep it moving and see if she going. All right, let me see if I got it right this time. Wrong. Let me see if I get it right this time. Wrong. Let me see this time. Wrong. By the time, man, what's sad is by the time our community gets it wrong so many times, they tap out. They either give it up all the way or they go seek it from another culture, because by the time they realize what they need to look for, they have spent so much time within their own group not finding it when they didn't know what to look for, that they think that they got to go outside to look for it. And so
right.
Early intervention into young people's lives, letting them know what they need to look for, would go a long, long, long way. Casey she trying to bring me back off the ledge instead of me just getting rid of the degenerates and creating a mass grave somewhere. So I'm gonna sit with myself.
I feel like that's also necessary. Like, you do have to get rid of some people, but you first gotta try.
At least try. At least try. Yeah. Okay. So
didn't Umar tell us this? He's like, some of us ain't gonna make it.
Man, a lot of leaders have said over years, everybody ain't gonna make it. Y'all know Harriet Tubman was kicking, like Harriet Tubman had a gun.
Yeah.
She had a gun.
Leaving folks behind, like, we good.
Yeah, but like I said, it goes back to how do you know who to trust if you don't know who not to trust? Like, you got both, because you go out trust everybody until somebody show you can't trust them. Now you're like, wait a minute, now I got to look deeper into people, instead of just blind trusting everybody.
And and another thing you said that is true. You have to see somebody make it from that bottom and turn it around, because when one young person that's from that degenerate environment sees somebody from that environment turn it around, they can identify and say, okay, that person did it, maybe I can do it. It's possible. They have to, what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just want to take a wrecking ball to everything, man. And so
because you tired of it. I'm tired of your shit.
Damn, I'm tired of you, man. I done aged.
Let's hope they all get locked up or something. I don't know.
I done aged.
Spend some more time with the positive people, because you got to immerse yourself in the goodness, so you can have that love and spread that love, and then you'll know, like, okay, well, this person is not accepting of this. I'm wasting my time. Next, Yep.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
So we got another little hot topic here, boy. So y'all motherfuckers understand that there's a law now. They push it up here in Kentucky, and they got it down there in Georgia, apparently. Child support at conception. Boy, you niggas done won the prize, boy. Boy, y'all got Roe versus Wade turned over. You niggas done won, boy. Y'all niggas done hit. Boy, if these women could collect from the moment that test say is possible, boy, y'all niggas is cooked. I want to play a little bit of the video. It ain't a lot of video. I want to play a little bit of the video, and we're gonna come back and talk. I don't want to hear no crying. Ain't no niggas none of y'all in the comments get to crying. No, we ain't.
It would.
Don't do it.
Will DNA tests be mandatory now? Will parents be allotted to claim these children on their taxes? If there's a termination or if it's found that the father is not actually the child's father through paternity, will they be refunded? Will this new law have any sort of effect on abortion laws that are already established? Now, while I think these are great questions and everybody's entitled to their opinion, one particular question or thought that I have is, first off, I think it's important to understand that all of this deals with the inactivity of fathers. So with that being said, it's simple. Just take care of your kids. And if it's a question of whether or not you are the father, then maybe you didn't know that individual that you slept with as much as you say you did.
That child is a human life, and the support obligation begins as soon as that life begins. And I think we ought to be able to go after that.
Even if you didn't believe life begins at conception, I don't think anybody can reasonably dispute that there are costs involved in being pregnant from the moment of conception.
Honey, y'all have up and done it. All my life at conception, men to the front and center right now. Because Kentucky said, since life starts at conception and y'all don't agree with abortion and all that, pay that child support for that unborn child. See, people just thought it was about the women. You know, oh, that's a woman problem. That's a woman problem. They just made it a man problem too. At conception, you're liable for the coin. Honey, y'all have up and done it. All my life.
Man. So I'm gonna give it to y'all.
Y'all done up and done it, man. Y'all done up and done it. Hey.
I'm gonna let y'all get it. I'm just gonna say one thing real quick. I hope y'all, I'm not gonna say a bad word, I'm gonna say men. I hope y'all men, y'all fellas, don't want to try to even debate the idea that at conception, when a woman is pregnant, there are inherent costs that are already baked in. It starts really quickly. There's a preparation. There are things that she's going to need by the time the babies get here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know, depending on your circumstances. You know, I don't know if WIC is still a thing. I don't know if you still get a little free couple of weeks of cheese and vouchers and whatever you get. If the government has something in place for the first couple of months that woman has a child, it should automatically register with those of you who have never had kids, because only those that have never had kids would ever come to a conclusion that this is not something that's necessary as far as needing financial assistance when that baby is on the way. So that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can have the rest of it, because I think this is a good thing.
We can start with the fact that she needs health insurance. Who's paying for that? Who's paying for that?
My tax dollars right now, and I don't like it.
But let's say she doesn't have Medicaid. She's coming out her pocket, you know. So I mean, let's just start there. You know, they should share that cost.
Yeah.
Look, most of y'all kind of know my story a little bit down here in Georgia. This has been on the books for the last 4 years, I believe. How the heartbeat law went. The heartbeat law didn't just stop abortions at 6 weeks. It also gave fathers rights to their children very early on. So, you know, typically a father may have to go to the court system and fight something, and they still do. But the state has actually made it a point to say, hey, here's this father registry. If a woman is pregnant with a child out there you think is yours, we can kind of push the issue so you have your rights. What the heartbeat law also did was allow a pregnant woman in the state of Georgia to claim that pregnancy on her taxes. It's a $1,500 tax credit. So if you're pregnant in January from December, you get paid $1,500 for being pregnant from the previous year. Once they detect a heartbeat, they give you a bunch of paperwork to fill out, to sign, that not only do you acknowledge a heartbeat was detected, but pregnancy has been proven. You can then take those documents to the county to start a child support order. You can go get WIC, you can go get food stamps, you can go get I don't know if you can get TIF, but you can get Medicaid, whole shebang. So you can put a man on child support as soon as you find out you're pregnant, and they backdate it to the date of your last period, just like your doctor's appointment. You can. They tired. They are. You can test paternity, and if a guy says, "Well, that ain't my baby," okay, at 7 weeks pregnant, you can test paternity through a simple blood test. The same blood test that is done for prenatal care is the same blood test they use to determine the dad. And it's a blood test now. They don't have to do the amniocentesis and all the other stuff that they used to. It's an expensive behind blood test that costs $2,000. So if the woman takes you to court and says, "You my baby daddy," and you like, "I want a blood test," the court will order you to pay that $2,000. Woo! So either you have to pay to determine you are not the father, or you the father. So Georgia don't play about that, and it's not just to give the woman what they want, it's for the men too, because if a man finds out that he's impregnated a woman and she's trying to do something, he can stop her from terminating. He can demand to be at appointments, the whole shebang. So it's leveled the playing field quite a bit with regards to reproductive rights, and then the care of reproductive rights in the instance that, here's a man who'll knock me up and don't want to do nothing. So, if right now, say your child is 2 years old, you can go back to court and say, "Hey, he ain't paying no child support." They gonna run it back to the date of your period from when you were pregnant with that baby. Georgia ain't playing with these people.
I just want to say, as a man, I love it. I absolutely love it. As an active father, I love it.
Yes.
Absolutely. I love it. Because it addresses some of the main talking points these niggas use as excuses not to be a father. "Oh, she won't let me. She making it hard." No, the law favor the mothers over the fathers. Not no more. At least here in Kentucky, not no more.
And Georgia.
I said here. I said here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Georgia probably. Kentucky probably got the idea from Georgia. And a lot of people don't even know the law is on the books. A lot of people don't even know. Because I didn't know until I did a deep dive on what came out of the heartbeat law. And it's like, oh, okay, they gave fathers additional rights. Oh, wait a minute. Child support. Ooh. Okay. All right.
Ain't no excuses now. So it's just like
none.
Either you do or you don't. If you do want to be the father, then you got the law on your side if she's making it difficult. If you don't want to be the father, you got the law.
It's telling you if nothing else, you're going to be financially responsible. If nothing else. Yeah.
You do something. You ain't finna run out here and get somebody else pregnant. And then run off on that one. And then go get somebody else pregnant. And then run off on that one. Nigga, sit your
ghetto twins.
Yeah, sit down. Or they gonna sit you down. It's absolutely necessary.
Yep.
These niggas been running wild unchecked for too long. It's absolutely necessary. And just for that, if that damn Kemp run again, I'm gonna vote for him.
I love it. Go ahead, Casey.
He's turned into a Nathan Deal. He ain't as bad as he was intended to be.
No, I agree with it too. I mean, it's not a bad idea. What do we have to argue against it?
I think most guys are going to go with is paternity mandatory? Okay, why not? Make it mandatory.
Yeah. Honestly, if now here's where you got to give women credit. When they want to get something on the books and get some shit shaking, Bro, they start talking and they start marching and they start having drives and they start having movements. Niggas in the NFL is wearing pink socks for breast cancer awareness. Like, ain't no testicle cancer awareness nowhere. Nobody gives a fuck. It's a real thing. Prostate cancer is a real thing. I ain't seen not one drive. You know why? Because y'all niggas don't talk about shit, don't complain about shit, and ain't nobody paying attention to you. Women gonna complain and say, we don't like it, we don't like it, we don't like it. And eventually a bunch of men in power gonna say, God damn, shut up. Here you go, give you something, shut up. Y'all men gonna have to start, we don't like it, we don't like it. And it eventually will shake for you, man. So y'all, when it comes to paternity testing, if you go hard enough in the paint, they will sit down and say something. They will do something. They will come up with a cost that works for you. If you really can't afford it, they will come up with something to make it somewhat mandatory that it gets done. But y'all don't do nothing but bitch and complain on social media and get into the manosphere. These women tricking people, man. I seen on Maury last week. That woman had 2 dudes there that wasn't even the baby, man. And I seen on Judge Joe Brown. I get it. We know it exists. Some women gonna bullshit you with the paternity stuff. We know. Or there's cases where they gonna complain about, you know, man, that man raising that baby 5 years. The woman turned around, the baby wasn't his. We know. Stop running to social media, take your punk ass to your congressman, and vote for somebody that's actually gonna do something about that shit. How about that? Get us some ribbons made so we can wear them on our clothes so we can talk about mandatory. Get it done. Y'all doing a whole lot of shit on social media. Do that shit. Instead of all the, y'all niggas complain more about women's edges and hair and makeup than motherfucking actually talking about the shit that really affects your pockets. Think about that shit for 5 seconds. Y'all niggas is lost, bro. Y'all lost as hell. Paternity fraud. But y'all spend way more time talking about simps. It's more conversation about Russell Wilson being a simp than it is about y'all getting something about paternity fraud. Come on, I don't want to. So that's why when men complain, I just be like, nigga, please. I don't want to hear it because you ain't gonna do nothing. You're not gonna do nothing. Do something. Be just as active in these political streets as the women. Find your politicians, align with them, align their pockets, because that's the way it works. Power brokering. Find you somebody somewhere that's gonna stand on a ballot and gonna execute a plan and talk that shit and keep it going until you get something done. Find somebody. Find me. Hey, look, real talk. Y'all want some men's rights and men's issues? Hey, bro, I'm for hire. Who pay me the most money, I will fight for almost any right. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the voice of reason. I'll talk that shit. Come on. Vote my way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I got to run for. What I got to run for? What?
So you basically already got your career for when you
what I gotta run for? What you want me to run for? I'm gonna run for everything. Shit.
I think you gotta start with alderman.
I don't want to start that low.
Everybody don't have an alderman.
Yes, I don't want to start that low.
Every city don't have aldermen. Like we don't have any here. We have city council.
Somebody in the comments said power brokering is real. I'm telling you.
That's how the LGBTQ.
That's how they got everything. People were tripping. Barack Obama didn't do nothing for black people. Not a one of you motherfuckers funded him. Women and gays funded. Real talk. Women.
Why you out here bad today?
Women and gays funded him. So when he got there, he said, "I got y'all. Fund them. Go fund who you want. Yeah, that's all. Spend some money." That's all you gotta do. Quit tripping and go argue with him. Anyway, man, I don't want to overblow the topic, man. I'm glad. Yeah. Birth control at conception, and that is that's a nice. I don't think it was to counter Roe versus Wade, but I do think, like Chef said, it does balance it out, because if men got the same options in a sense to get some shit shaking in their direction, man, it's a good thing. You can't complain about that. You really can't complain about that. So,
and all in all, I think it should be enough to sit these niggas down. It's like, man, not just niggas, but women too.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Stop making these damn kids.
Cause who trying to be in court fighting for somebody for the 50 cent a week a month you gonna get? Who trying to be in court doing that, man? Like for real. Then God forbid he got a controlling mama that wanted some grandbabies and she don't like his other baby mama, but she kind of like you. Now you got to deal with his family too, man. Nobody want to deal with that.
No,
It's too
I
much.
100%, man. Yeah, I'm glad for it. I really am. I'm glad for it. Hopefully, more states jump on board. I can tell you what states is. Y'all know California coming. They want their money. Y'all know Florida coming. They want that money. Y'all know Texas coming. They want their money. There's them states that already have it a little hard out here that don't play with men.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna come right back and say, oh yeah, we'll get that bag a little early. Any state they got like all the celebrity basketball players. Hey man, if I was a celebrity basketball player and I wanted to wild out, hey, I would just say, you know what? Let me put this stuff in a box. If I was a celebrity, I'd go get as many samples taken, put them somewhere secure, then go get a vasectomy and just shoot wherever I feel like shooting. Then just that's what I would do. And then when I found and when I settled down, tell my wife, all right, yeah, we baby had this baby. Like, well, baby, I got a vasectomy. However, my sperm has been over here for years. Let's go ahead and have this kid. There you go. If you got the money to do that, hey man, do that. I believe that's what Derek Jeter probably did. Because ain't no way that man ran around New York all them years as the captain of the Yankees and all that. Boy, ain't no way you did all that for them years, boy. And he ain't got no strays. Shh.
You know he got strays. Come the hell on.
They quiet.
He probably, man. They probably don't know, even though that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it just depends on the women he messes with. But I'm pretty sure he got some strays.
He might, but it's we ain't heard nothing. So I mean, it's something to be said for silence. Anyway, all right. So we ain't gonna belabor this one this more. So we had a conversation. Casey, you missed the conversation about breastfeeding last week. And so we gonna get into it a little bit more. Man, listen, it was such a blessing for me and Sam. I mean, we were so enlightened. We have been trying to find a way.
They were kind of disgusting.
We did get, Sam the pervert of the group, so he got a little perverted. You know what I'm saying? I had to reel him back in. However, we realized the benefits. We realized the benefits. So Sheffy, mentioned briefly last week about how there's an issue as far as racism tied to it and the influence of Black women actually breastfeeding. So she shared a video and she wanted to readdress some of this. So I'm gonna play the video. Sheffy, you tell me when to stop. I went a little bit. I kept a little bit more of the video, like 6 minutes of the video. So you just tell me when to stop when you want to chime in. Same thing, Casey. Y'all got this one right here. Y'all the pros, and y'all supposed to be telling everybody to get this breast milk out. Get it out for everybody.
I tell everybody.
And for men too. We want some shit.
No, for real.
Listen. Yeah, boy. Shit. Listen, boy. I got plans around here. Got plans.
Lord.
Yeah. All right.
Of Black women want to breastfeed. So why aren't they? Lower rates of breastfeeding in the Black community reflect multi-generational systemic, personally mediated, and internalized racism that together have created unique barriers for Black families who wish to breastfeed. Many healthcare professionals are unaware of the history of racism with regard to breastfeeding. So let's walk through it together. Looking back to American slavery, Black women's bodies were exploited and sexualized, even within the medical community. Black women served as wet nurses to white infants. The impact of this was multifold, including a loss of autonomy over their body, building a false notion that breastfeeding was reserved for white children, and fostering the false belief that Black women were not fit to mother their children. These implicit and explicit beliefs permeated into modern medicine, practices, and policies. In the mid-1940s, formula companies began targeting ads to low-income mothers, successfully increasing formula use within the Black community in particular. As a result, Black women today are less likely to have parents or peers with prior breastfeeding experience to share.
And so in my family, where we were very conservative and we were very conscious of covering ourselves, it was fascinating to me that my neighbor across the street would just pop a breast out whenever she needed to feed her baby.
Also, with more Black mothers opting for formula, healthcare professionals falsely perceived Black mothers as having less interest in breastfeeding.
It made me feel a little upset that they assumed that I would want to feed my child a particular way. And then it made me even more upset when I realized that there's this tremendous impact with regard to your supply for not serving in a timely fashion. I felt a little judged and a little angry just because it made me have to work harder in order to continue providing breast milk for my child.
This bias still exists today. Black families continue to be underrepresented in public breastfeeding campaigns, ads, and movies. There also continues to be underrepresentation of minority medical professionals, in particular Black doctors. This results in a lack of racially concordant care or Black patients receiving care from Black doctors. Racially concordant care is especially important when counseling and treating health decisions that are influenced by cultural beliefs and practices, such as breastfeeding. Lastly, a large part of the healthcare workforce is not adequately trained to provide hands-on lactation support and trauma-informed care, both skills that are particularly important when caring for communities with higher rates of physical, emotional, and sexual trauma. Philadelphia's medical community must educate themselves on lactation support while understanding the diversity of their patients' needs. If you want to start today, here are a few things to consider. Start and revisit conversations around infant nutrition options with your pregnant families.
So with my first daughter, nobody asked me how I wanted to feed my child.
Explore desires to breastfeed, understand the rationale behind their choice, and ensure that they have access to evidence-based, culturally sensitive information to make an informed decision.
I had a doula. Me and my husband did birthing classes, so she was able to provide us with some information. So was our doula. I have some friends that are like doctors and different things like that, so they were able to provide me with some information.
Find out who the parents' support system is and include these individuals in conversations around infant feeding.
Different support people was like my husband, our doula was a support person for a little bit, and then like my mom.
My husband was very helpful overall, just kind of being supportive in like trusting the decisions that I made about, you know, how I wanted to use my body in supporting our child, and just overall supporting within the household and with the babies. My brother was also very helpful, I think, with navigating having children in the NICU and like bottle feeding and wanting my baby to be healthy. You know, he just helped me to feel comfortable and calm.
Take time to identify and connect with your community-based lactation resources to share with families.
That should be good.
Such as lactation counseling and peer support groups.
Okay.
Peer support
That's it?
just made me more comfortable.
Yeah, that's
And
Okay.
that's more on the how to fix it.
So that part where they were talking about that trauma, it makes sense, but I never thought about it like that. You know, breastfeeding is such a nurturing thing, but if a whole generation of women were out here just believing that they shouldn't, we got a whole generation of men and daughters, sons and daughters that didn't get that loving chest to chest connection like that. That explains a lot. Part of the goddamn degenerates that came about because they ain't get no titty milk. That's part of the problem. But anyway, y'all kind of break this down a little bit more, man, because I never knew it was that serious of an issue.
You know what's crazy is with the slaves, not only did they have to nurse white kids, but they weren't allowed to nurse their own kids, and a lot of them died because they was like dirty water and eating whatever, as infants.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy. I mean, now I saw the videos. You see the pictures and the videos of a black woman nursing a white baby, but I did not know that there was this thing about they don't nurse y'all. Y'all can't nurse y'all's. It's not a good idea. Like I never heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever said it wasn't a good idea so much as it was no, that's reserved for us. That's you're our property, so that's reserved for us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember, as a kid, the first time I saw a woman breastfeed, I was like, oh, that's disgusting. I think I was like 9, 10 years old, and I was like, that's disgusting. She's supposed to use formula. What is she doing? That's not what you do it.
Ain't that crazy how you're programmed to believe formula?
Yes.
And the crazy part is formula is like, it's poison. It's like
terrible.
nothing but chemicals. And people are taught that it's like a real form of nutrition. It's just made up crap. It's crazy. And we're like, well, my daycare, I try to, man, I'll be like, you can try something else. You can do, it's all kind of like natural options, to form, like you can make your own formula, but I hate for these babies to be on formula. And like one of the major thing, it messes up their digestive system. All of them are constipated. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. When I had him, I had to do a magnesium treatment right after because I had preeclampsia real bad. And they were like, well, you can't breastfeed him because we can't have him in here with you while you're on this treatment. So that's why I've struggled to breastfeed this time, because I couldn't get enough of that. And I'm laying there in the bed. I was like, baby, bring me that hospital grade pump and some syringes. We gonna make something shake.
Hospital grade pump. So
oh my
where
God.
you get where do you get those from?
The hospital. They are
no, I'm saying like so.
Literally the hospital. You can rent them.
Oh, you can rent them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a way to go rent them? Like, do you have to prove that you got somebody that's a baby's coming, or can I just go to the hospital and say, look, I got a little change right now. I just want to rent a hospital grade pump.
I don't know.
You don't want to give us the information.
I seriously don't know. Like,
no, normally you have to be a mother. Like, you have have a child. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna be in the system.
You go to the black market.
Okay. I'm going on behalf.
Just buy a regular breast pump if you just trying.
No. I want hospital grade.
Well,
see don't be giving us.
The breast pumps have come so far that, like, I mean, like, you probably can buy one that's comparable to the hospital pump.
I'm selling mine. All 4.
How much? You selling the hospital grade one? You selling the hospital grade one?
I have some that are close to hospital grade. Yes.
Okay, how much you listen? Don't go to marketplace
we'll talk
first.
about that later.
Yeah.
They expensive.
They are like the first pump. I got the LV pumps. The pumps was $600.
Yeah.
Payment plans. Payment plans. Like Rent-A-Center. Same thing.
Who you trying to pump?
You know who he is. So he's trying to decrease the size of a tumor.
So I'm trying. Listen. So I'm trying. Because she said bodybuilders use it. It's just good. It's just good nutrition all around. So I told this one around here what I had learned on the last lot. So I'm just gonna bring it. It's gonna be like a gift. I'm just gonna say, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I know she's not gonna deny my health and well-being.
But what about her health and well-being? When a woman is breastfeeding, she has to have a special diet. She has to drink lots of fluids, lots of water. She also has to have time to pump.
I got you. Listen, so listen, for real. My dream is from like when I get my Raisin Bran Crunch, just enough for an occasional bowl. I don't even drink that much. I don't drink milk.
So you've never tasted breast milk, huh?
I ain't worried about that. But listen, anybody live fluids.
Hey, you never had it? Seriously?
No. I mean, I was breastfed as a kid for a little bit.
It's the most nutritious thing on earth. Like it,
Yes.
like most people don't know that it, like across the board, is the
See,
best
y'all making
thing
this,
on earth.
y'all are
But
selling this so
it
good.
tastes good.
It
tastes
does.
good.
Yes.
It tastes like a sweet, like a sweet whole milk almost.
Yeah, like a sugar
Boy,
milk.
y'all.
Yeah, like
Sugar milk.
Yeah.
Sugar milk and my Raisin Bran Crunch. Boy, y'all ain't doing them blessing nigga around here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Look. I know. Listen. So I'm gonna do it like old school. I'm gonna do it player like. You know, see when you in player days, a woman what you won't do, another woman will. I can't quite do that because I might get hit. However, if I say, babe, I really would like, you know, I think she would be willing to at least give me one round, a couple of shots. I don't need a lot of it.
Again, like I said last week, breast milk has cancer fighting enzymes that decrease tumor size.
And I want to live forever.
You know, like vaccinations, you know, I don't know if you're pro or against vaccinations, but they're not even necessary. They're not necessary, but they're definitely not necessary.
Hold on. Somebody said they have enough milk to sell, and I'm looking for buyers. Who said that? Somebody in the comments.
Go to Let's Say and put it in a powder, child. Put it in a powder.
No,
hey, whoever said they got enough milk for buyers, DM me. See now I got leverage. Now I got leverage. I'm saying, see, look, somebody trying to sell it. So either you get down or lay down, and so that was it. Oh, yeah. Last thing she wanted to do around
she put you out.
Like when it comes to a lot of people really don't think about the immune system piece of it. Like my son Miles, he's 9. That boy could get the flu on Monday. He's well by Tuesday. His immune system turns over fast.
Yeah.
And he was breastfed for 9 months, and then I still had 3 months of milk left in the freezer. So he got it for a whole year before we went to anything else. I wasn't as fortunate with Adonis because I couldn't immediately start when I was in the hospital. But you know, same thing with him. Fortified immune system.
Yeah.
For the most part, the kids do not stay sick long.
That's if they get sick. Like my children, I know, you know, like working in the school district, like kids are sick, sent home every day, you know, for whatever reason. My kids never got sent home. Like never. I never got the call like you gotta, you know, get off work because your kid. They were never sick. And the thing is, if they do get sick, like she said, they get a mild version of what everybody else gets.
Yeah.
And it doesn't last long, you know. But it's never like if he got the flu, it's like the baby flu. Like it does nothing to his body. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's something else. And people don't
I was very rarely sick as a youngster, even as an adult. Like even this last round of COVID, like that was the first time, and it was so shocking in the house. They're like, "You actually sick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it happens every once in a while." I don't know. I'd have to ask my dad. My mom's not around for me to ask, so I couldn't ask whether I was or not. I know my youngest brother was, and I believe my oldest sister was. So I don't know for sure 100%, but
you probably were. Because at this point, it's like what they tell you, your lactation consultants, yes, long-term feeding is best. So, you know, up to 2 years old is what they want you to do. But even if you breastfeed for 3 months, you've done more than not.
Yeah.
You know, because you've at least started the process. And then some moms can't breastfeed, and that's okay too. So like a lot of moms get upset. So like, well, I couldn't breastfeed. I had to formula feed, and that's okay. But that's also why there are milk banking centers where moms that can't breastfeed can buy milk from other moms. The stuff is tested. They make sure there are no diseases or anything in the milk. They make sure it's coming from quality, you know, environments, things of that nature. They check in the mom's diet. Like they'll literally test the milk. And you can still buy it because lactation consultants and people in the field, they recognize it don't actually matter where the milk come from. The baby just needs to be breastfed. It just has to be breast milk.
Yeah, my babies, they didn't like that. They knew their mama's milk. They would not drink. I remember one time my oldest son, he'll be 22 this summer. But anyway, he he went out of town with his grandmother, like 2 hours away, and when I pumped, I didn't make milk like some women make milk like cows. Like they fill up these. I'd be like, what is this? Like I didn't make milk
24
like
ounces a day, baby.
Right. But yes, I didn't make the pump like stimulates you in a different way than the baby milk just poured out, but like the pump did not do, But anyway, so his aunt, she had like a abundance. I ran out of my stored up milk, and she had an abundance, and he would not drink her milk. But he knew it was not his mama's milk, and he was. So I had to go pick him up early.
So he wanted to baby. They get something and they spit it out, and it just
he would.
Oh yeah.
Now some babies, they do not care. My kids, they knew the difference.
Yeah, it took a while to get him to when I started supplementing with formula. At first, he was like,
right. It's like, what is this bitter?
Like, this ain't it.
Sweet milk that you've been
getting. But even there are other effects to breastfeeding that a lot of parents don't think about. Is the hormone that causes the milk to drop also is a relaxing hormone. So it can help with postpartum depression because it not only relaxes the mom, but it also relaxes the baby. The baby sleep better. All of these things happen. So it's just a whole process. And even I remember in the hospital with him, they really assumed, oh, well, he's a preemie. You can't possibly breastfeed. Like your breast is bigger than he is. I'm trying to hand him here.
Man, listen, the breast need to be bigger than me.
Get it in.
Just drop it. Just put it on him. Just put it on top of him. Either you breathe or you eat, boy. Which one you want?
You figured it out.
Which one?
And the funny part is because babies' noses are made for breastfeeding. They're like flat, they're made for breastfeeding. Yeah. Like the whole system that was created is
amazing.
Yes. And they say that breastfed children are highly intelligent. Like there's so many benefits. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's she said, the mother, like the bond that's there. Like I thought like when I stopped nursing my kids that they would like throw a fit, like, oh no. Like they turned 1 and I stopped nursing them. I was the one crying, like
right. Like they don't need me no more.
I thought you was gonna cry. I cried because you don't miss me. But it's this bond that it's. I mean, because like can't nobody feed your baby like you know what I mean?
But
like,
you, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? The bond, man. Every study of every sociopath, psychopath, like 99% of them had an issue with bonding with mom very early on. Like day one, something was wrong. They were taken away. The mom was going through it. There was a gap. When that so and I never even thought about the long-term benefits. If you nurse that child, that's more bonding time just by default because they feeding. So they always got to be close. They always got to be warm. So it's just never a component. Men, we ain't gonna think about that. Listen, man. When men, we how we are. Titties is for us. Y'all remember in that stand-up Martin did when he said, "Don't the baby look?" He said, "Don't the baby make the titty look good?" He said, "You over there trying to fight the baby." He said, "You go get on titty, baby look at you all side eye like what you doing over there?" You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gotta bully them kids, man. What the hell? Oh God, you're not a rat. I don't know where that came from.
Honey,
that we might got a
troll phone number.
Yeah, that's another platform that we streaming on anyway. But yeah, it's man, knowing like knowledge is everything because I don't know who I would have talked to ever to come across this information.
Never. But imagine, when we talk about community, imagine how many, like the video kind of stated, how many Black young women, girls are never taught about breastfeeding. They're not informed. Like I don't remember ever seeing anybody. I don't know that anybody in my family nursed. I nursed all 4 of my children, but nobody told me to nurse them. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I wish that it was more normal, because I would have nursed them to like 2 or 3, or I would have pumped and stored so they can have it to their 4 or 5. Like we don't do cow's milk. You know what I mean? They either do almond, oat, or or something like that. But I wish I was more informed. It was more normal in my community to where I would have gone longer. I was thinking like, oh, a year, yeah, because a year is when they take them off formula and give them cow's milk. So in my mind, I stopped, nursing. I could have nursed them longer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have to cry like no big baby early. Yeah.
I would have still cried.
Yeah.
Look, my number 3, he turns 18 in May, and he's gonna graduate, and I got 2 that graduate. I'm gonna cry when he graduates too. You know?
No, it don't. I remember how I got to breastfeed my first child. My ex-husband was just like, I ain't buying no formula, you breastfeed. I'm like, huh?
What?
Yeah.
Well, look at establishing dominance around there. Where you at? I am establishing dominance. Boy, that's some caveman shit.
Right there.
That's some That's some caveman Mad Max shit, boy. Just sit,
I love that he thought that, but how did that make you feel?
At first, I was just like, because at the time I was all in my feelings because I had lost everything while I was pregnant because I was just that sick I couldn't work.
Oh.
So I was just like, well, I'm just gonna do what he say because he paying the bill.
Right.
But and at first, that first couple of times, I'm like, this boy about to bite my nipple off, and he just got here. But then I learned like the football hold and all of that. But then I was still really self-conscious, so I would have all these cover-ups and all of these things. By the time he got by 3 months old, child, ain't nobody but do all that.
Right.
In public, don't care.
Restaurants,
don't care. And with him, people will be looking at me like, oh, you over there breastfeeding him? I ain't even see you pull out. That's the point.
Right, exactly. Nobody, you can be discreet about it. Nobody got to see all that. You be discreet.
Yeah, it ain't like I'm wagging my nipple around trying to like shoot people with it. Like, no, I just pull it out real quick, feed them, and tuck back in. We done.
You know what? I don't even understand why people look at that like it's disgusting.
Me neither.
Because it's technically a bodily fluid, and people think of bodily fluids as nasty. And it's like, but cow milk is a bodily fluid, and y'all drink that, so I'm confused.
I have never seen a woman breastfeeding in public and been. It's never. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't want to be caught looking because it's. But I've never been turned on by it, and I've never been annoyed by it. I said, okay, she's feeding the baby.
But everything is so sexualized. It's like her boob.
Yeah.
It's like
right.
It has a dual purpose. I'm
like she's feeding the goddamn baby right now.
I can feed a baby and fill out this dress.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, she feeding the damn baby. Why y'all bothered? You want some? See, I think that's what need to happen. See, that's what actually need to happen. A man or somebody, or even a woman, somebody will come by looking at y'all crazy. Like, you want some too? Well, get your ass on. Quit looking. You're looking like you're thirsty. That's the reaction.
3 foot distance.
Right. That's why I said squirt that other one at him.
if you had something in you, you wouldn't be looking at me like this. That's what's wrong with you now. Yeah.
But people need to be educated,
Yeah.
They need to be educated. Breast
it's definitely been like for me again. I mean, we joke about it, but it's definitely been insight because I just never thought that much into it. And when you see the convenience of formula and the availability of it, and the woman can go back to work real quick, and all these things that make us, all right, you don't have to sit down and do this no more because you can get up and go. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down for a little while. Maybe you get some benefits out of it.
Yeah.
You just
like in that vein, a lot of people talk about COVID babies being so advanced. And I'm like, I don't think COVID babies were advanced because there was anything happening so much as parents got to be at home with them kids.
And they sat down
with them and nurture them and help them grow. And that's what led to these children being a little bit quicker on the draw. Because they had time with their parents versus everybody rushing back to work at 6 weeks. And the daycare worker who, in certain daycares, they changing the worker every 3 weeks.
Not in Casey's. And Casey waiting on y'all. Casey waiting on y'all, boy. She wait. Come on, bring them babies. Bring them babies. She gonna undercut the price just a little bit, but boy, she balling over there.
The newborns are my favorite. The infants, I love them.
Women always listen. Women always love old boring newborns. I need something that can move, something that I can karate chop and body
Give
slam.
Me the toddlers.
Yeah, man.
Most people don't know.
I love them
because of the crying.
Yeah, no, I want the toddler. I want something that can walk, that I can suplex, that I can practice all my wrestling moves from the 80s on.
Right?
That's what I want.
Like I'm trying to do headlocks on the floor.
Yeah, man, you get like 3 babies. You get like 3 or 4 kids somewhere between the age of 2 and like 5, and you can Royal Rumble the hell out of them, boy. Like they all gonna be playing. They all gonna be playing just Royal Rumble the hell out of them.
That's what my son does. That's what my son. He on spring break right now. They think he is the best friend.
Oh, of course.
I mean, like he flipping the boys, and I be like,
see, I flip this one right here all the time.
Yeah.
He loves it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's where you got that's where you got to do it. So
I'm happy now.
In the vein of so we revisited another topic too. So we talked about breastfeeding last week. We also discussed a little bit about you men with your low testosterone. We kind of covered that just a little bit. I wonder if men even give a damn that they got low testosterone. You know what I'm saying? I really wonder if men are sitting there with low testosterone and it actually gives them a thought, or are they just living with it, not realizing that their condition has been affected? You know what I'm saying? Like if you've never, like I can understand if you was a man and you had high testosterone and there was a drop and you feel a change. But if you're born into a generation of a bunch of men with low testosterone, do they care?
No,
and so
they the ones that are on the internet arguing with women in the comments.
God damn. Yeah, well, we damn. Let me play the video for you go cook.
Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm
lying. Boy, she got the hibachi out already. Damn, boy. Damn, let me go ahead and play this video. Yeah.
This is the high school class of 1980. This is the class of 2000, and this is the class of 2020. Notice anything different between these two images? Look at the men. Now look at the picture from the class of 2020. You don't see men, do you? Those are boys, aren't they? Now, yes, our culture has changed, and different fashion trends and fitness levels drive today's high school experience than they did in 1980. However, the fact remains that men are becoming less of, well, men. Not only in their behavior and in their dress, but also in their biological makeup. Since 1950, the testosterone level in men have been dropping up to 1% a year. If that does not scare you, it should. Testosterone is a critical hormone for men to have, in abundance really. A man with low testosterone will be docile in comparison to a man with a healthy level. They will have a much worse memory, much slower spatial reasoning, a remarkably lower sex drive, and of course, will have smaller muscle mass. And women, this hormone is important to you ladies as well, as it can help you with fat loss and mental function. Having low levels of testosterone can also make it extremely easier for a man to become obese, depressed, and even suicidal. Men today are biologically only 80% of the men they could have been in 1980. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be 8/10 of a man. Men now are weaker, slower, and less intelligent. We are, simply put, not the men our fathers are. So that's really bad, especially at that rate and affecting billions of men. But we're not screwed yet. The first step to reversing this is to figure out what's causing such a rapid decrease in testosterone. This list is long, and I've spent countless hours reading research article upon research article on all of these for you guys. So let's not waste any more time and let's just jump right into it. I'm going to start with some of the more basic ones, and then we'll get to the bigger and more interesting ones as we go on. First up on this list is your diet. The food you eat today in the modern world is often processed,
You want to stop there or go into his
Yeah, I was gonna stop there because a lot of this, we know, but that drop of 1% per year every year, it's not what it's been 1% per year every year from a generation to a generation. That is dramatic as shit. And so essentially we're like 30% less, have 30% less testosterone, than our grandfathers, somewhere like that. Like the numbers, that's a big ass number. I know that what we can do to counteract it is how physical we are, how we eat, so on and so forth. But do men even care? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think more men from my generation probably care than men that are 10 years or 15 years younger than us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes, my peers, all of my peers go to the gym. Most of them try to eat right. But you know what I'm saying? They work out, they're active, they're busy, so on and so forth. But does the younger generation even care about that shit? So how you get somebody to do anything that's going to change their testosterone levels if they're living with it and they just don't care?
You can't, because they don't care. You can't get somebody to change something they don't care about. They probably, I'm pretty sure the mass majority of them don't even know what testosterone is. Don't even know they need it.
Right.
Yeah.
So and also I like the comparison that he made, because like a 21-year-old or 18-year-old in the 70s, he looked like Carl Weathers.
Yeah. Like go look at them dudes. Yeah.
That's right. You are right.
So now you look at, man, when I go and pick my kids up from school, I look at them like, y'all niggas the same size as my daughters. Man, y'all some little niggas. And they're so the ones that are heavier on the heavier side are the athletes, because they have to. But just the regular dude, the regular teenage boy, I think like he about 60 pounds.
They be looking like they like 10 years old.
No, it's true. When I go pick Eli up from baseball practice and stuff, all the athletes are the kids with some size. All the other kids, no. All the other boys, no. So it's easy to spot. It's much easier to spot that. I think when we went to school, a coach might stop you and say, "Hey, you play a sport? You thinking about it?" Man, I guarantee you, these coaches ain't stopping none of these boys that don't already play a sport, because they don't even look like they can get out there and do nothing.
They may stop the basketball dudes if he tall.
The tall ones.
That's it. They ain't stopping nobody.
And so you got an advantage there if you got some height and somebody wants to put you in basketball, because then by default you're going to end up with some strength and conditioning. You know what I'm saying? So they might be able to do something, but just for the average guy, that's going to be the average height, he's just soft because he's genetically or soft. You know what I'm saying? And then the food, what parents are feeding the kids, what the kids are eating in their spare time, what the schools are feeding the kids. In that video, it talked about like exposure to plastics, certain oils, clothing. Like it's levels and levels. It's like a compound issue. So you got the environment working against you, and you got genetics working against you.
I'm sure least you can do is on the list.
Crocs
called less testosterone.
Them damn hoodies. Them damn hoodies. Them damn hoodies. Run around in the summertime, not getting no sunshine. Yes. Staying in the house all day with the curtains drawn. Yes. You ain't get no sunshine, boy. You need some vitamin D. Get outside, boy. Yeah, I believe that's all of it. But they don't even realize that what they don't have, and what happens. I think the moment they realize it is when they're ready to date and try to shoot their shot at women, and then women are gravitating toward a certain type, and then they think the problem is with y'all. Well, women are gravitating toward the men that have that testosterone, and y'all might not. And y'all looking at the dudes that got some testosterone, and y'all don't, thinking that the women are shallow or whatever the case may be. Let's be clear about one thing. Natural mating selection still exists amongst humans. And a lot of y'all dudes are degenerates and a woman does not want to procreate with degenerate product that's going to create degenerate offspring. So physically, so just physically, maybe a lot of them hood dudes that ain't got it up here, ain't enough rolling around up here, but physically they got enough testosterone to at least be just animalistically, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's that's tough when you think about it, because a lot of these guys might be good guys with a bunch of low ass testosterone. He gonna have titties in 10 years, literally. He gonna be breastfeeding in 10 years.
A lot of these issues are coming from formula fed children too. No, for real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because a lot of the women have low estrogen. They have more testosterone in them than estrogen, and that's why they have like beards and mustaches, and their hormones are off.
Yeah, I mean, you got to factor in with some of the food we're eating. We have higher rates of things like PCOS that, of course, causes a hormonal imbalance in women. We have higher rates of things like ADHD and a lot of other things that are kind of controlled by the presence or absence of certain hormones.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is caused by our food. Absolutely. We're not eating, a lot of people aren't eating protein heavy. And then for those who are going vegan, they may be getting the protein, but some folks are missing additional vitamins that they would have gotten in meat. And then for those who aren't, you got a whole generation of men who eat nothing but meat, but don't eat any vegetables.
Or you got the cow's milk and the chickens and everything are pumped full of hormones, and like it's starting puberty early. Like the girls' boobs are humongous because they pump full of hormones. So what do you think it's doing to the boys?
It's
giving y'all titties too. Mm-hmm.
And tight jeans.
You ain't dudes out here with yeast infections from them jeans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's dudes called jock itch for y'all. Actually,
it's yeasty. It's yeast.
That's what jock itch is. It's a yeast infection.
I won't, but you got to call them. You got to tell them it's a yeast infection, so that make them mad and sad, and I know you're being a little too womanly.
He said mad and sad.
Yeah, man. You gotta anger. Sometimes you know what? Sometimes you gotta anger men to get a reaction for them to go the other direction. So you tell them, hey, bro, you go get a yeast infection. You keep wearing them pants that snug. Wearing pants that's fit. Wearing pants that fit is fine. You know what I'm saying? Wearing pants that's like you have y'all seen the combination of a big dude wearing tight pants that borderline sag, and he got on a tight fitted shirt, and he's fat, and he got a muffin top, and he's a big guy, and he got on skinny jeans. And you be looking at this dude. You said what?
With a concave booty built like
and you looking at this image, like who told you skinny jeans? Look, skinny jeans. First of all,
that's how Rod Wave dress.
Listen, skinny jeans usually only work for skinny dudes. Like
the big backs, yeah.
Yeah, a big
built
wide
like
back dude. Yeah, and got on skinny jeans. Like, no, bro, no, y'all, no, hell no. He ain't been physically. And I'm telling you, man, those dudes are in their 20s. And I thought women were mocking men when women were talking about no, dudes in their 20s are having issues with erectile dysfunction. I'm like, no, ain't no. I'm like, no, that's no way possible. There's no way nobody in their 20s got them problems. And they're saying it is a thing. Women that are in their 30s talking about, hey, dudes in their 20s, yes, they struggling out here.
I mean, they probably want to be 100 pad popular.
Yeah, that is the generation that made it popular. No, it is young dudes. It ain't me. It ain't my group.
Blue chews more than the old dudes.
I'm telling you, those are the ones talking about it. Little younger dudes. Because if it was our generation, we would have heard it from the dudes, a class of like older than us. Like when we was working at Fred's Super Value, the old heads would have been like, "Hey man, young blood, better get you one of them." Nobody was talking about that. There wasn't no gas station pills. There was condoms everywhere. That's what you saw. No pills, condoms, rubbers. Now y'all new young punks and y'all under breastfed testosterone deficient dudes, y'all are the market they targeting with these pills and honey packs.
This is true. I mean, it goes back to like you got to factor in testosterone is something that you have to use or you lose.
Yeah,
and
that
you know, the previous generations, they were outside working on cars, doing the yard. You know, they might push a car. They changing tires. They, you know, putting in alternators. They building cabinets.
Yeah.
But this new generation is like, oh, well, I got the money. I'm just gonna pay and get it done. That guy's stacked, and you know, you're not.
Yeah.
But then it's always the woman's problem where women don't want me for this, that, and the other. And it's like, because you look like a little boy. You're 25 years old and you're built like a little boy. I don't know what you're wanting.
And an essence is a thing. Like we give out pheromones. Like we send out bio signatures to those others that say, "Hey, come mate with me." Them dudes don't like they don't send that out. You know what I'm saying? When they're done, when I guarantee you, I think in about another decade or two, they're gonna really look back and they're gonna be able to tell us scientifically, outside of social media's influence and all this other shit, they're gonna be able to say there was some scientific deviance that, hey, y'all messed up when y'all reproduced and how y'all nurtured and how we raised and all the things y'all did and the lack of going outdoors and doing it. They're gonna be able to pinpoint and say, yeah, that's where y'all fucked up.
I give you one even deeper, and I just looked this up because I was like, I wonder, is there a correlation between testosterone level and height? So in previous generations, the average height of men was actually shorter than now. So what that leads me to deduce is that men back then weren't struggling to find no women. Short men were doing just fine.
Yeah, because they were still men.
Prince was 5'2", running around here taking everybody's woman,
and was pretty as hell with a deep ass voice.
Yes,
made no sense.
Or sure. You know, so things like that are correlations as well. Men always, well, y'all always got to pick the man that's over 6 feet, because the man that over 6 feet tends to be a little bit bigger by default because he got to manage all of the weight he's carrying. So
just by default,
dudes, y'all already short, and you look like little boys. You pick a struggle.
Yeah. What you said, Frank, on that? You said the first time somebody said, "Excuse me," you had to turn by the side for somebody to walk by you. What did you say about
man, the greatest compliment I received, man, when you got to share an aisle in the store and you got to turn sideways so people can pass you without brushing you. Greatest compliment.
I'm gonna go find that Facebook photo of you when you was on crack. Where is that at, man? That thing out there, boy.
He posted that picture of him in front of the tree with the glasses on.
Yeah, boy, he was a bag of bone on the grill. On the grill in that Superman shirt. That Superman shirt was so baggy on that man. But you know what? In fairness to my partner, you know what I'm saying? He was going through it. He had lost his wife. He was dealing with so much in life. He got a valid reason, because when we was younger, he was on the heavier side in high school. So he was going through some shit. So he got a real reason. You other young motherfuckers, I don't know, boy. Y'all blame your parents. If you want to blame anybody, blame your parents too. Because these screens and all that stuff, I mean, you can't avoid it because technology is gonna be there. But you can send your kids outside when they're at least young enough before they start getting access to the screens. So I mean, it was good, you know, if you could see these kids. Like I see kids outside now. I'm like, well, y'all gonna be some good adults outside on a swing, riding a bike, walking, talking, hopscotching, and doing that shit. It's still kids that do that. And when I see it, I'm just like, y'all gonna be the ones. Y'all gonna be the next level.
Them children be out there every day.
Yeah, yep. Y'all gonna be the ones.
Rock, or climbing trees, the whole shit.
Yeah. Yep. They gonna be the one. Hold on, y'all. It's 9:30. Hold on. Shit, I might be in a little trouble. I done got a text message. I need to get on downstairs now. However, I know. Damn. All right. So, but look. So there are 2 more topics. I'm gonna save them. You coming back next week, Casey?
Yes.
Look at she say she like
that's a maybe.
Look, I know the weather nice. I know the weather, that sun is out, you know what I'm saying? They drinking, turning up. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep it a little short. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you showing on up. Yeah. Come on back. Come on back.
Like that.
Yeah. Look at I ain't in the street like that, not like that, just a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, y'all. George, get off net. Look what he after.
Right.
Look what he after. He heard the conversation. He said, "Oh, okay, since you want to talk about it, be about it. Talk about it, be about it." All right, y'all. They don't give a damn. See, that's a real man. That's a real man. A real man. Come on now. Come on.
And his nickname gonna be Dino because he be trying to get to it. It's like, little boy, cut me loose.
This why you know boys gotta be nurtured, because when they get older, grabbing, and you gotta tell them you can't grab what you want now. You was grabbing what you want when you was little. Now when you see what you want, rein it in, little fella. Just what you wink at a fella, wink at her. Say, you know what, I like that. That's what you do, fella. Don't go grabbing, fella. I'm go down there and watch this damn thing. We're gonna talk some shit about Love Is Blind. I'm pretty sure everybody gonna be on it. But
it did drop today, didn't it?
Yeah. That's why I gotta get down there at 9:30. She told me to get on down there.
Binge watch. I'm about to go watch it now, man. Sheffy, binge watch. We can talk about this next week.
Yeah. Get you on board, girl.
I mean,
she gonna be talking. Oh, she gonna be talking so much shit. I'm telling you, you're gonna be ready to cook. You're gonna be ready to cook these folks. But you know what? There is some decent storylines, really good ones. But the degenerates, you gonna cook them. You gonna get them, and they gonna get some smoke. All right, y'all. Let's have a good night. I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. All right, George, get on out of here.